June is the month of nostalgia, I think, because once again I'm reminded of 2013 and 2014 June. Welcome to Roaming Kitchen. Every roaming has a story. Today's story is about a dish which was cooked once by my dear friend Shrey, and it was a very hot day, I still remember. It was June of 2014, I believe, and I, for the first time, had a gobi dish, where the entire gobi or cauliflower was used to make the dish. I remember this very well because I was practicing some music in his house and I was also trying to record with a few friends, and the fragrance or the aroma of what he was cooking got me running to the kitchen, and I was surprised to see a whole cauliflower being cooked in a gravy. And that's what we are going to look at today. We are going to look at the dish called gobi musallam. And what we require to make this amazing dish: a whole gobi or the whole cauliflower, kasuri methi, fennel seeds, cumin seeds, elaichi, cloves, bay leaf, coriander powder, jeera powder, Kashmiri red chili powder, haldi, which is turmeric powder, salt, and now we need tomatoes, ginger garlic paste, and nicely chopped onions, and a nice cup of cashew. What we have here is a lovely cashews from Goa, and that's about it. We also need some finely chopped chilies. To this blanched cauliflower, I'm going to add some ginger garlic paste, and I've kept it in this direction so that all the paste gets into the cauliflower well. You can see, try and stuff all the ginger garlic paste in through these gaps and make sure they flow inside. Adding some oil to a hot pan, you can add the oil of your choice. The first step is to evenly coat the oil around the pan. I'll show you why. So that you drop the gobi there onto the oil and start sauteing it. Spread that around nicely and make sure the surface of the gobi gets fried well. Some people love to use a lot of surprises into the gobi. They like to stuff it with raisins or even some cottage cheese. That's completely up to you. You could stuff it in with whatever you like. Just keep swirling that around. Turn it around the other side as well. Wow, this side is also frying well. One thing I did not mention, you can parboil this, or rather you should parboil this cauliflower before you start frying it. Now to a nicely heated pan, pour in a good amount of oil, and I'm using 2 big onions that I've chopped and putting all of them into the cooking dish now, into this pan, and try to fry them for a nice amount of time. So, this is the most time consuming part about making this recipe or making this dish, because you need to change the color of these onions very drastically. These onions are going to turn real dark towards the end of this frying, you will see. Just make sure it's on high flame and keep stirring. The color has started to change. You need to keep sauteing this for quite some time on high flame. Look at the change in color again. This needs to become much more darker. You see that we are actually starting to attain the color that we want. I've got the flame to a simmer right now. So, one thing to understand is that musallam means a whole, right? So when you say gobi musallam, we are talking about a whole gobi or a whole cauliflower. So that's what it means. And there are many different ways to prepare this. And again, like every other dish, this is one of my own interpretations. You can try it and drop your comments in the video and let me know what you thought about the taste. So that's the color we are talking about. You can see. Yes, that's the color that we want to have. Nice and dark but not burnt. That's what we are looking at. To these fried onions, I'm adding a handful of cashew nuts, which I had soaked in water. Now you need to grind this into a nice paste. Look at this beautiful paste and the color. So I've added some water after the first mixture to make it into a nice paste. I'm getting into the next step now. I'm going to add a few pieces of elaichi. If you have big elaichi, you can just add 2. Just adding a couple of cloves and a bay leaf, some fennel seeds, salt, jeera, yes, and we're good to go. Once the aroma is out in the air, add ginger garlic paste now. Now is a good time to add these tomatoes and saute them until they turn mushy. Once the tomatoes start to become soft is when I add the finely chopped chilies, because I don't want them to get too burnt. You see how nicely water has released, and the combination of the things that we put into this pan is giving birth to a lovely fragrance. You have to experience it for yourself by trying. At this point I would like to remove the bay leaf, because after some point we're going to put this in a mixie again and grind this into a lovely puree. This has cooked in its own water and it's turned out very beautiful. Now I'm going to take this into the mixer and make a nice paste. So I have the puree ready. Now off to the next step. I'm going to add some butter to start off with into a heated pan. Once that's done, I'm going to introduce the paste that we made out of fried onions and soaked cashew nuts. Just stir this paste for a while until you feel that it's cooking. I'd like to add a little bit of water, a little bit. You see how beautiful that paste looks? Very little, yes. Now I'm just adding this puree that we just made using spices and tomatoes. I'd like to start out with adding a very small pinch of haldi, very small, that's it. Now some coriander powder, right, and some Kashmiri red chili powder. And after that, some kasuri methi. And of course, some more salt. At this point, I'd like to add some more butter. Although this starts to bubble, you need to keep stirring patiently until the butter or oil separates. The gravy has attained a good level of consistency. At this time, I'd like to add the gobi and start pouring the gravy onto the cauliflower. You see how we've coated the gobi well with all this rich gravy full of goodness. So the idea is to continuously pour as much gravy as possible into the gobi. Keeps going in, and towards the end you should be able to get a lovely taste when you cut the gobi and serve for yourself. Now since I do not have cream, I'd like to add some milk. If you have cream, you could add cream. It will be much thicker and will give it a lovely final touch. And what I also plan to do, this is completely optional. You could add raisins, you could add a whole lot of things to garnish, you could add cashews. Since I love paneer, I'd like to add some paneer on top. It's such a wonderful feel. I just can't wait to cut this and indulge. And one last time, I'd like to add some kasuri methi. A little more maybe. And you can take a look at this beautiful dish. Like I told you, this is my interpretation of the gobi musallam. It's now time to serve this for a plate of rotis. Now let me cut this. It's cooked really well. Lovely. As I cut this, I can smell the dish spread in the air. Wow. This is definitely a delicacy that I want you all to try. What a lovely feeling to have cooked this and served this for somebody. Can't explain to you the satisfaction that I have right now. We'll have to taste and also be able to tell the same. Let's see. I hope you will all try this at home. You see that it's not a really tedious task. And like I told you again, musallam just means a whole. And here gobi musallam means a whole cauliflower or a whole gobi. Every roaming has a story. See you next time.